We've got some more breaking news, this time out of New South Wales now, folks. Origin will extend the life of the Eraring power station until 2029. Now, you might recall this was an option. Last year, there was a push to do this following the spike in prices as coal is gradually phased out. But it wasn't the government's call, it had to be the company, and so they've acted on it, and that is being presented to the ASX this morning. But for some immediate reaction, I should say, let's bring in the Shadow IR Minister, Tim Wilson. What are your thoughts on this, Tim?
Well, I'm not really surprised that there's been this push because at the end of the day, prices continue to go up because electricity, because there hasn't been the forward planning around the energy transition. So it's become more attractive for companies to be able to do so to extend the life of existing coal assets.
So you're pleased? You're pleased about it? You're pleased that they've made the call to do this?
Well, I mean, it's not really about pleased. I'm technology neutral when it comes to power. What I am pleased about is that at least it's likely to increase security in the electricity grid, which we desperately need. But what we really need to be doing is building long-term baseload capacity for the future of our country. And that's not by retiring assets. It's about building Australia's clean industrial future, which is why I've always said all technology needs to be on the table, including discussing topics like nuclear.
Yeah, well, I mean, would it be your expectation now that this is not the last time that this happens, that the various companies extend the life of their coal-powered stations?
Well, we know full well that Victoria's got secret deals with the coal operators or coal generators to extend their life. I expect New South Wales government will do the same. They all talk all renewables, but in reality, it's a very different story. Of course, they've had the same complete U-turn with gas. There's a point where economics and physics dictates energy. It's not just ideology, as the Labor Party would like. OK,
let's talk about the Labor Party now, because the main story of the day in Canberra is going to be these hate speech laws, the gun reforms as well. That omnibus bill was, of course, split, so you've got two separate bills that are going to be up for debate. But according to Tony Burke and indeed John O'Doniam, when I spoke to both of them last hour, they appeared confident that a deal was going to get done, particularly on those watered-down hate speech laws. Are you pleased about that? What are your thoughts or concerns this morning?
Well, I think people should be very cautious about what we're talking about. We're talking about prohibited hate groups legislation, which is focused on making organisations or groups that are formed for the purpose of causing or sowing social discourse and harm in the community being disbanded. And I think there's a pathway there. That's obviously conversations between the Minister and the Shadow Minister at the moment, and I think there's a likelihood of success. The government has shelved its racial vilification provisions, and there's also other provisions like the Migration Act. So, well, we've had our meeting in the party room last night. We'll wait and see what comes out. No doubt there'll be an announcement shortly, but the most important thing is we get the law right. The reality is the Prime Minister has allowed this anti-Semitism crisis to bubble to the point of catastrophe last year, and there is no simple legal fix that will solve it overnight. This is going to be a sustained effort of leadership over many years about the type of country we want to be and to bring people together and to set the tone, not just a quick legislative fix in the next 24 hours.
So what else would you like to see done? I mean, and Jonathan Dunham and both Tony Burke have said today that this is just a step. There will have to be more. What do you think we should be talking about, looking at now to make sure another Bondi doesn't happen?
Well, first of all, unfortunately, we can't go back and change the past. If I wanted things to be done, a lot of it would be done in the past, which is on the 8th of October 2023, the Prime Minister and others to have stood up unequivocally and condemned the celebration of violence against Jewish people around the world. And everything has basically followed from there. Now we have a choice about how we're going to go forward. We need sustained leadership from the Prime Minister, from our premiers, about the type of country we want to be. We need our agencies to be properly resourced, because even though we're disbanding some of these groups, some of them won't go away. We're clearly going to need proper resourcing to make sure that we find them and weed them out wherever they occur and they're engaged in their nefarious activity. It's going to be a burden on all of us and a responsibility, I should say more correctly, on all of us to stand up for the type of country we want to be, and a nation built on respect.
All right. Tim Wilson, we will leave it there. Good to see you, though. Chat again soon.